everybody, my name is Shivani David, and this is sort of a little video to show you what we've been doing in response to that composting method posted in the group. So here we've taken some steel that we moved from some of the chickens we're keeping, and we now formed a circle, and we took grass clippings from the park. We got our the grass in front of the park got clipped about 2 weeks ago, and we negotiated with the guys, the contractors, to drop off all that grass in our yard, and we've had the ability to do tons of mulching and also generate about 5 of these composters. So what this is basically at the base we need carbon. You need 4 ingredients: carbon, nitrogen, air and water. The reason that we have it siloed up like this is for aeration from the sides. So that means we don't have to turn it as much as a normal compost pile or hot compost pile needs to. We've also realized that in the grass matter there's a combination of brown and green grass. So this allowed us to go on and add with not too much layering. So in this we have cardboard, chicken poo, grass and water. Cardboard, chicken poo, grass and water. And that's what created this layers over here. And this has been standing now for about 2 days, and in the core of it is some dramatic heat from the process. The outside is a bit dry, but at its core it's full of moisture, full of microbial life, and I would give this about maybe, okay, not 18 days, but at this level, due to the fact that I'm not trying to bother with it too much, I would give it about 2 weeks to 3 weeks, and from there we should have some compost for this bed over here, which we're just gonna mulch up and prep over here. So with this said, I think a lot of people believe that gardening starts with seeds, soil, and maybe soil amendments, but we truly believe that gardening starts, or farming starts rather, with waste disposal or waste management. We believe if you have a system in which you check your waste, split your waste, and then use your waste, you have everything that you would have bought from a store. So this means your seeds, your soils, and your compost, and that can all be generated just from your waste management. So this means, like has been mentioned on the group, removing the seeds from your vegetables, putting them one side to store and dry. Thereafter you get your seeds, doing this compost method with your greens and kitchen waste and garden waste and grass clippings, which is all for free, nothing costs, no money here. Layering that up, you get your compost and combine your seeds with your compost in the growing season, and we go ahead and we have fertile ground and luscious food. So yeah, this one is about a week old, and you guys can see it's broken down. A lot of the grass matter is broken down. We have turned this once, and this is the result of it. This one is actually far hotter than the other one. Actually, I think I'll come by a bit later just so you guys can see some of the steam that is just rising from all of this over here. And all of this is free grass clippings, oak tree leaves and water. Oh yeah, and chicken poo. And yeah, so all of the works that we do here is part of an intention called the Reimagined Learning Community and Ecoversity. What is an ecoversity? An ecoversity is an uninstitutional, decolonized space of healing and reclaiming of indigenous knowledge through medicinal medicines, traditional medicinal medicines, through reclaiming our tradition with the land and our practices with the land, and reclaiming our relationships and our practices with ourselves in community. Part of our experimentation involves everything from these guys over here that I just picked. These are some indigenous black eyed pea seeds that I actually had the ability to get from a friend of mine down in Western Cape. He sent them up, and we've been planting them, and we have like a whole terrace full of them. We have amaranth growing. We're also doing our own seed collection. So the movement is about it goes beyond just food sovereignty. It looks at human sovereignty, and we're looking at creating processes to reclaim our humaneness away from the colonial bureaucratic systems that exist. So this whole practice is an artifact of communal development. We have everything from the chickens over here to land regeneration, to building and architecture, to native technologies in which we're actually using this composter, as you can see. Not this one specifically, but we'll go and move towards another one in which I'll show you how we're generating hot water using simple composting methods. The exact same tower compost method, just with some hose pipe in the middle, spinning about easily 15 to 20 meters in the middle, flowing at a low pressure system, and that generates hot water. The more time it spends in the composter, the more heat that water is going to be generating. And this hot water can be used for our seedlings in the greenhouse. We can actually go and move to the greenhouse. Let's go do that. So part of our stance on learning is looking at learning as a natural process, a biological process more so. If one looks at how a young baby or child adopts the language of his or her mother tongue without no structure, without no curriculum, one will quickly begin to realize that there is a process of learning that is beyond our humanness, and it's exponential, and we need no recitation and no examination in order to validate this learning. This is an artifact of our learning here at the center. This is a pizza oven, or just an oven that can be used for literally anything. And this has been made from, first of all, free grass clippings from the park, once again, red sand, which is rich in iron, from the bottom, and also has a high clay compound. So that allowed us to create this pop mixture, mixing nothing but grass, some clay, as well as some sand, in order to generate this oven over here. And we use this a lot to prepare a lot of interesting meals. And once again, these are part of our regenerative knowledge systems that we actually reclaiming. We're not trying anymore, we're actually reclaiming, and we're validating it. Because for too long, I think a lot of our indigenous cultures and our indigenous knowledge systems has been deemed as informal education, and we're realizing that it might just be the most powerful one. Let's step it to the greenhouse. So once again, this greenhouse, another artifact of community work. This was constructed, oh Babel, are you okay there? This was constructed with some of the members from our ecoversity, the greenhouse, with the intention to incubate the babies, the young seedlings, and also to do some extensive germination. Let's go have a look inside. So first of all, we have a aerated water system over here. This was simply a 50 Rand water pump that we got second hand, and we're using this to aerate the water because, like everybody and all living organisms, oxygen is key to growing, and we've had the ability to see exponential growth just by simply aerating the water. What you could also do is just have a water bottle, give it a shake maybe 3 times a day, and that also serves as aeration. This is maybe just a more extreme case for higher volumes of water. Part of our practice is not only growing food just for consumption, but growing food for healing. So we've got everything here from our wormwood that has become popular with the corona. We have our basil, we have our oregano, we have eggplant, we have chilies, we have a bunch of beans here. I'm actually going to leave these seeds over here. These seeds will go back into a seedling tray later today, and I'll be planting them later. One of the big floating questions in our space is how we can create better spaces and better opportunities for natural learning, that is biological learning. And we've found that by simply engaging in things that bring us joy, by simply engaging in the things that sometimes disrupt us, by engaging in our challenges, that we have the ability to co-create a culture, a regenerative culture of learning. And that is what our space is all about. We do everything from engaging in some political content, as even nature and biology is political. There are infrastructures and systems that are involved in that. We also explore music, arts, the gardening side you guys have seen, as well as the construction side, and anything that is part of the innate human expression. So lastly, this is the composter I was telling you guys about with regard to generating that heat. So over here at the base, you just find it, is our inlet. This is where we let water in order to occupy and spiral in this composter over here. This one is a bit skewed, taking me on a slant, but it's doing the job. And over here is our outlet. So water enters there, spins around tons of times in this composter, not generating, but sort of absorbing that heat from the microorganisms that are breaking down the matter, and that's generating it. I'm not sure if my wording is right, but I think this would be considered a biomass reactor, due to the fact that you got this biomass that is in reaction with a lot of the dynamics such as water and air, generating energy that we can harness. Also, as you guys can see, below my feet is a bunch of the mulch that I spoke about earlier. And yeah, this is our Reimagined Learning Community Center and Ecoversity. Thank you.